Mic check. Okay. Good. Alright. Let's spy on. Let's spy on Sigismund. What their plan is. So if you didn't know, last live stream, we met up with Sir Radzig and Hanush of Laipa. Sir Hans' uncle and my dad.
Nice and slow.
They told us to spy on Sigismund. They're having a counselor meeting.
The church is rotten. Hear what Master Jan Hus the Frog teaches us. Priest, swallow it. Go and do something.
So we'll see what's that about. First, let's talk to this guy. Think about this tournament.
When is the next tournament?
The day after tomorrow. But there is still time to sign up.
How do I sign up?
I want to enter that tournament you mentioned.
Great decision, Heinrich. Als erstes, let me explain the...
Right.
We have 3 Disziplinen. Die erste, Sword and Shield Combat. Then gibt es noch Longsword Combat. Schwertkampf is done in light armor. You will get all the equipment you need for the tournament, including weapons. Keine Sorge. You must use it during the duels and return it to us at...
Of course I'll return.
Not in the sword disciplines. Everyone uses the same equipment, so that only skill is the deciding factor. But in free combat, the last discipline, everyone uses their own weapons and armor. I recommend heavy plate armor if you have some. You can participate in all discipline or just some. It is up to you. Every entry costs some geld. And behave during the tournament, yeah? No funny business.
How many fights will there be?
You'll face an opponent and fight until someone has 2 wins. They will then move on to the finals. There, the first one to get 2 wins is the victor of the entire discipline.
Just like the last time.
Are there any prizes?
Yeah, glory and recognition. Also, as in beautiful and valuable things. Coats, armor, weapons, all sorts of things. The city's craftsmen quite liked the idea and wanted to show off their work. So they donated a few pieces as prizes for the victor. But the main thing is to have a good Kampf, is it not?
Of course. What will happen if I sign up and then can't make it?
Then I will be bloody disappointed in you. If you do not show up, you will be disqualified from the discipline. No other way.
Thanks.
So...
Sign me up for the...
Toll!
I'll show off my longswords.
Na schön.
Sign me up for store.
Na schön.
I want to try free...
So you will try all discipline, yeah? I like that, Hein. Pay the entry fee, and we are done.
Here are the groschen, but I plan on winning them all back.
I look forward to seeing your attempt. May Lady Fortune be on your side. On the day of the tournament, go and see Friedrich Kummel. He has the honor of running the tournament and will introduce you. Or you can wait here for the tournament, as you wish.
When is the next tournament?
The day after tomorrow.
Can't wait for the tournament there. Hopefully... What did we say there? Yes, we save. Hopefully when we start this mission, it doesn't take us anywhere far. Guess we started it in the tournament.
I apologize.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his...
He owes me a lot.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right.
That's right,
Maybe we can
bitch.
make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that
At the what?
that German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
What do you want a boat for? Well, come to your senses yet?
Oh, fuck you. I'm telling you, Conrad's gonna win the tournament. Conrad wins every time.
I'm sorry. Conrad would dare stand against the
Do your shopping.
Listen.
Greetings. I'd like to... Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here.
Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you impatient fella. What was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Colourful O's! Great for church and the tavern too!
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to it?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
The softest linen canvas. Come and buy the finest canvas.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Waiter's livery.
Oh, from the...
Report to duty. Right up. Second magic. Check. Okay. Major Dom.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap? And you don't have one at all. Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber without them. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
The fuck is going on with the light over here? Alright, let me change. Let me change this actually, because it's easier to do. Let's get rid of the gloves. Finish the shoes. Should be good.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap? And you don't have one at all. A tunic you have? Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it, and you don't want to be dragging the royal waiters.
In front of the council chamber.
Good to see you.
I'm guessing over here, right?
Gelobt sei Jesus.
Gelobt sei Jesus. Was möchtest du, mein Freund?
I have a quick question for you.
Ja, was willst du?
I heard King Sigismund is in the city. Where's he staying?
Jedenfalls nicht hier. The monks of Sedlitz offered him ihre Gastfreundschaft. Personally, I think it's better this way. The wolf eats, yet the goat gets to live.
And does he go among the people?
Nein.
Greetings.
Show me your way.
Maybe next.
I apologize.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. A tunic you have? Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragged. The royal...
Bruh. Oh, that's why I'm wearing the wrong thing. Over here, maybe? No. What do you mean in front of the... I'm done, hello.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap. A tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragged everything. Do you know what you... For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great...
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you... But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants
Adam.
wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct.
The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
We did it.
There are the pictures of wine.
Our current
Hopefully I won't
Waffen
splash
arsenal
anyone's
is a joke.
shoes.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
Waiter, pour me some Takai. What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it?
The wine.
Where did they get
I'll
them?
be right back.
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison.
I apologize,
and
sir.
Herr König
Which
surely
one?
knows
Are you
this
colorblind?
too.
White.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and
me?
you want to
Are you
defend
deaf?
yourselves
White.
with a few rusty
White.
halberds.
And who is it you want
Thank
to fight?
you, waiter.
Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
I'm sorry.
Shut
I
up!
wasn't paying
The
attention.
king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can
Waiter,
always
get me
confiscate
white.
the property of the king's enemies.
Familiar with the jämmerlich state
That's
of
not a
our
good idea,
armory.
sir.
This is
He's
unbelievable.
surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
Pour me
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid
Monastery
I see
wine
no
here.
solution of the current situation. We shall wait
Well,
and see
thank
what
the
His
Lord.
Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
I'd like some monastery
Isn't it the
wine.
same
Refill my
thing?
cup, boy.
I'd like to oblige, but
So,
I'm
the
not allowed.
cleanliness
This
of the
is
city is
unbelievable.
not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right. We do have the new baths.
More wine, Master Bailiff.
Adam's old ones. But I hear the Hopbrink
closer.
baths are more of a pigsty.
They still are a bit, but
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
much bigger. And all the other baths will chip in with their taxes too. What? More baths?
I can't.
supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Someone needs to wash. There's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there,
Waiter,
a man
pour
can
me
shave
red wine.
and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death?
Sir?
A great many people died needlessly.
Are you
what happened with the Black
questioning
Death?
God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Hey,
Keeping the
waiter,
city clean is
pour me some
important.
monastery wine.
But we don't have
I'd like to oblige, but
arguing about
not allowed.
who is
This
going
is
to wash
unbelievable.
where and how is a waste of time.
Waiter,
I got word
pour
that
me red
Rutard
wine.
has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Why?
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
I apologise, sir. Which
Just
one?
a small
Tokai!
misunderstanding. White, we've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good
Sir?
reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
Thank you, waiter.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any
waiter.
trouble. He
Pour me
is
some
sensible
monastery
enough
wine.
not to draw attention to himself.
I apologise,
while the
sir.
king is here.
Which one?
That's true.
Monastery
Because if we don't
red.
do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
Sir?
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's
Well,
move
thank
on.
the Lord.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels.
Oh,
It's not
shit.
only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
Be
I'd
specific.
like some
Forster.
monastery wine.
Are you
Refill
blaming
my
one of
cup,
us?
boy.
Ah, and look who spoke first.
First of all, it wasn't a duel.
Sir?
Supposed to be an honorable combat. And I didn't even take part in it.
And that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody,
As
you
you
should
wish.
point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse
I
me.
don't want to see you again.
Never mind.
I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us.
Hey,
It's now run by the German Menhard.
Refill,
Who
sir?
knows who
You
that
think I
fellow
come to
is?
the council
Don't
just
be
to guzzle wine?
ridiculous,
Come here.
Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot. I can't just get up and walk.
All right.
I knew I could count while you're at it. Count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
we'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us.
That
All
was
day
easy
long.
enough, and he wanted me to count the winged figures.
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly.
There's one,
with the Emperor Charles,
two.
and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let
I see two.
On our word, if I threw out everyone who complains over a beer,
I see means
I'd soon be out of
everyone.
customers.
Ah, the hell with it.
Three.
We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
4. I see 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's a lot actually.
You'll answer to me. So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those wing...
Sure.
I counted 32, sir.
That many? It seems a few more angels must have descended from heaven. For a royal waiter, you don't have much of a knack for counting.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a
waiter.
monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city?
Monastery wine. Here.
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave
Hey,
is
boy.
mine.
Then
A
hell
full cup
freezes
of
over, my
monastery
friend.
wine.
Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a
It's
seat
you?
in this council.
I
How
see you
dare
come
you?
up in the world.
I
From a
acquired
bathhouse
my
boy
seat
to a
for the
waiter.
services
You'll
our
go a
guild
long way.
provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, it was a lot
I
more
hope
fun in
you're
the
not
bathhouse.
supplying equipment to the army. If that's all
You're
they
a
have,
merry soul,
they
lad.
would be defeated
I like
by
that.
that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
A full cup
yes,
of monastery
I'd
wine.
forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm sorry.
Come now, waiter. I wanted red.
Sir?
Thank you, waiter.
Oh shit.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Tüchegase, Allegiop Tetonaikat, Stelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of fives!
Come now, Father. Put a little life.
Are you serious?
You're dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. Again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the... And Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they keep him mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malachov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Mic check. Alright. Quick emerge this. Okay. Alright, we're good. This. Oh.
Such
It's a
rare
rabbi.
guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Do you want to make use of the council to improve the status of Jews in the city?
Not at all. However, we would like to give the council something it is sorely lacking. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead, too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone.
Oh,
a blacksmith
shit.
by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous
He knew,
sins.
Maybe
Henry's
he was
dad.
my father, but he certainly didn't act like one.
Oh.
Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why?
That's my brother.
He should have taken care of me,
Or
but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzig Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
what the fuck? You level up this guy? No. Where's Radzig in them? Radzig, where are you? Hanush. I see Hanush.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon. And
do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child.
Oh, shit.
No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
It's Henry's kid.
As they say, it doesn't matter who needed the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Uh-oh.
It could be a miracle.
Henry.
Praise the Lord.
You got Sir Divish girl pregnant. Made her pregnant. So Samuel is Henry's, well, brother. Not really. Stepbrother, I guess. And Henry got Lady Stephanie pregnant.
Me? He don't give a fuck! He always did seem strange to me. He's a fucking fucker! I can't even take a piss without scratching my balls!
City Council would have serious consequences.
I understand. I appreciate your coming here all the more.
I'll have to justify myself before the council and come up with some reasonable explanation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new...
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Kuttenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, shit.
Misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
This guy could be a spy, low-key.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
Sliding is terrible.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whoreson won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well...
Alright, I was muted.
Yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. You must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless death, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of you.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why...
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
I'll get on it then.
I wish us both luck.
Success to our plans.
All right. They're downstairs. No. Robosh. Roboshik. Why are they all the way over there? Get support from the Bushtek of Kunstein.
love to take burgers, patricians and usurers. There we...
You seem a bit out of sorts.
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went, and what my boy...
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And...
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting?
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. Ever since leaving Radzig, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That would be enough to make a man. Not to mention that his son was killed.
Sir Bochek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Ruthard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
What about me? How about...
I believe Liechtenstein is still.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Radzig and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go...
It's none of your bloody business.
The Lord be with...
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? That's...
I've gained us a...
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing, if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious... I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. And to your parleying skills.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're...
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well. We have a new...
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
That's my dad. That's Godwin's dad, or something.
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare...
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your hope.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher would sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Zoom, quick, mate, away.
Kurva, I'm wounded.
Stand back. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse.
You're fast. Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Arm lower.
Who taught you that? You're fast. Not bad for a priest.
You don't know which end of that thing
Who
is
taught you
up.
that? You're fast. Enough. That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. That you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that.
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own path. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Now you've stopped eating game?
Hi. Sir Bochek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kuttenberg.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Cape.
Here's to a good bargain.
Who else are you gonna convince? What's that lady?
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Sigismund won't take revenge on a woman. That would tarnish his reputation.
Maybe he wouldn't directly. But nasty accidents can happen to anyone. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband. And the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
All right, I'll help you.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, but watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I...
You're welcome. And now you're part of the book.
As agreed.
Thank you, noble lady.
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bar.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our...
Greetings, sir.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you leave. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support...
Both of them. Good.
This is going to be a long story.
What? I'm supposed to talk to my brother, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully that's saved. So, I swear if I have to do that shit all over again, I'm ending the stream. Just doing it off screen. We're just skipping all the dialogue. Come on. Oh my fucking gosh.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of me.
Alright, let's do this guy first.
Hard to believe. Martin,
I'd like to check.
and you might not believe you. Well.
I want to have a...
Well, I apologize for interrupt.
Is that your...
Unfortunate.
We'll talk later.
Don't try my...
Why so strict?
20 years. I got only... And then... But it took... You have to...
You're exaggerating. Like you've always done.
Me? You're a horse.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly bad, but maybe you ought to try your... I can't...
That's enough. You won't...
We've never...
You've got...
I can...
Out of... And his...
You want such...
After... Well, shouldn't... No.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man.
Si usted punieres non vam non
Damn.
That was sneaky.
Yeah.
Ah, fucking hell! They teach you that in the seminary?
I might be old, but I'm not written off. Cover your right side. You've got a gap there I can drive a car through. You don't know which end of that thing is up. Left arm lower. Just like in Kosovo. Charge and no mercy. What's wrong with your legs?
Enough. Now, Father,
I was and you. So only I thought. Not when he would first. Look, but no. And I've got to get him on our. Aren't we all? Maybe ever. Actually, what else?
I'll talk to him myself.
Do if it's all right. It's
Only
old.
I leave out.
I don't know.
You can.
Okay, there we go. Then we talk to this guy.
That's exactly why.
Sir Butch.
Does that
only
you've got? I need. You can. I have. I can.
So
my if maybe perhaps.
How will
He's a young. If on may.
So,
you're selling the skin of a boar first.
And what?
I don't care what. If he agreed, the kingdom will.
You want to bet?
I heard about that. Sir, have
You do?
I've
And who on the could? How the
well, there's
out
Lord
Hans Godwin.
Oh,
So if you or you forget what a shit.
And that's exactly why. So
and
then,
thank
enough.
Cheers.
Here's
Okay. Let's get first support.
God, there's
God be
your
no.
Monty.
I should or that.
How do you know lick?
I know, but they while it
I'd
not only.
then
So
nothing.
nothing.
You manage large.
I've managed quite well. If you want me to support you,
Do you have something in?
well,
Who's?
Harmon now.
All right.
I'll bring the. But what?
No.
Hey, you! What are you doing?
I'm just leaving anyway.
That won't please Lord Odorin.
I've got those papers from.
Quiet.
Here they are. You're welcome.
As agreed.
Thank you.
Yes.
How could?
And
Okay. Then we talk to our brother.
Couldn't she tell him to go to hell herself?
Oh, I reckon she likes having a young buck.
Sir Kunzman, I haven't yet had the pleasure.
You're Godwin, aren't you?
Oh dear.
Have no fear. I know Martin well, and I know he's prone.
Will you support Margaret?
That depends on what it is. If he decides to just...
Do you think we should look for help somewhere else?
I came here for one reason alone. To hear a plan of attack against... If Yops doesn't lay one out before me, I'll try and find someone more courageous.
What do you think of the rabbi's offer?
Or nothing.
He said he was interested in an alliance, though.
Aye, but still he must be aware that...
So you don't trust him?
And isn't it natural? It's not just faith in the walls of their quarter that separates us. They live in our city, but they're more foreign than the Germans or the Hungarians. Be with you.
Hello?
One beer! Mind where you're going.
So I guess they don't
Still
support us.
hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan. But probably not the best idea to gather all...
Gentlemen.
Is this supposed...
Like I said. Tell me, Godwin...
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a lot.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
promise to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Why he say like that?
You've already said that.
Oh, his head.
I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
Why are you sitting like
we do
that,
not
bro?
even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits!
Let me see if I can... The Gambits talk to Liechtenstein. I don't want to risk it.
Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become Rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Margaret.
Oh, he knows.
Was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of faults.
Sire, you are harsh, rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. The same is true for the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago.
You don't. Can't you tell white from red?
Well, no matter. At least the Takai will remind us of our home. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good to you. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of them.
White it is. Quickly. If Reborge falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can help nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Didn't he say that Lord Constantine was trying to defend?
Oh shit.
Left a long time ago. Your name is unpronounceable. Vauquelin Brabant.
Now we close our doors for the evening, people. How'd you like a wine, sir?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition. Recipes are passed on. I myself was practically raised on wine. Even the French, the king himself.
I expect his lordship had the best...
Best bar this wine. Give me 109
The sausages were also delicious. And when those two girls came...
Right here.
That ginger cunt will finally fuck off.
No tomorrow.
Are you surprised?
I thought you were
You in need of something?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our... So, to...
Touching?
Come now.
I never had one.
Truly?
Oh, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. Only, there's nothing... Fuck.
I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for...
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the...
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find...
You can bet on it.
I don't doubt it.
Fucking beggars.
I'd rather eat
By
well.
without us so far. They'll be fine.
You won't be much use there anyway.
You're right. I don't know about you.
Any sin. The Lord Almighty grant us a peaceful night and a perfect end. Amen.
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
So you keep saying.
What is going on in there? What the fuck? Yo. Yeah, what is going on there? He's giving that guard a head.
So you keep saying.
Here for the feast, anyway.
Don't complain. I haven't eaten so well in a long time.
Or anywhere, even at home. This is about bullet, Alzigana.
Wine on the table, compelling argument.
Oh, you do it. Oh, like a queen.
If the Queen did this, there wouldn't be no war.
Well, I'm talking about fucking cigars, twat. I love my...
Come on, someone will see us.
Hey? They won't. Come here. Let's drink to that.
Half of us only came here for the feast, anyway.
Begging to be eaten.
Do you get it, Father?
Please, call me Rabbi.
The day scrubbing that floor.
Sorry.
From cleaning up this...
I need help with something. Do you know where I might be able to find the wine pitchers? I mean the ones with the real...
And you're one of those?
I should say so. I'm his son.
And I'm the king's daughter. Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. In case you haven't noted, try asking my ma.
Greetings.
Sorry.
What do you think?
Where might...
Why? You don't like...
It's not for me.
Aha. If you go down the cellar stairs, it's Lord Odorin's best.
Maybe I should have
Everybody likes a drop of white.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
sober me up real quick. Kurwa, oh. Oh shit.
Quick! I have to go back. Go!
Why don't they sword equip?
For glory!
Now I'll show you.
Fist. Got one.
You're done here, Orsons. That was a close shave.
A little too close. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Oder and Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest, like...
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that, but... not everyone.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a... Be so kind. And don't speak of...
What happened, Godwin?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost. Good luck.
You have a brother? Where is he?
He's upstairs in the hall. He's alive, but he's severely wounded. He tried to defend our father. Well, the badger's not worth the trouble.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally. The same as Rutard and Bocek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing.
I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jew.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as...
Anyway, we've got...
Give me a moment. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up...
His lordship now. And to us?
We have to take care of young Sir Christopher and hope his father comes back soon.
Who's this again? Wait, let me see. And that's Anna right there. She was giving it to the fucking... I don't know, to someone. I don't know. It was this guy. He's giving it to this guy. I don't know who the rest of them are.
Nice.
Yes. The
Nice,
best thing we
yes.
can do is to keep doing our work.
Good to see you both.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes.
They could well have killed us. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkov could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get over... Nevertheless...
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's woo! We need to get back to the city and war. I'm going with you. Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to... This is a nightmare.
but I still...
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Why are you even telling me this?
I thought you would want to know. Martin was raising you instead of being with Mother. And me.
I know what it's like. My real father rejected me too. I learned the truth only after Pa's death.
You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easy. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out. Quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Hanush?
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already...
Very well.
I'll be back soon.
Hurry up. Did I not tell you we should not come here?
You did.
The others, don't mourn just...
And it was an honor to stand by your side.
I'm glad you did.
But if you got yourself killed, it wouldn't have helped him.
Alright, let's go actually. Anything else in?
We can go.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. Can we borrow the wagon you were on?
But of course.
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us.
All right.
I'll explain to you on the way.
Are you coming too?
Of course.
But do you think that's a good idea? No offense, sir, but you're no great warrior.
I'm not. But I'm not...
All right, then.
Why is it saying I'm so in combat? What the fuck?
Hanush, can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got healed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Don't worry. We'll save your mother.
And everyone else too. Don't forget that.
You seem to care an awful lot about these people, sir.
Are you surprised? It's all my fault. They weren't helping me.
That droid of Sigismund, may his name be erased, would have found some other excuse to get rid of us.
Look, it's not that I don't feel sorry for you, but don't you think maybe we could make the horses go a little faster? At this pace, we won't make it there in a week.
Samuel, how... What was the story with your mother and Martin?
Do you really want to talk about this right now?
It may be the last chance we get. We could both be dead in a while.
All right. But like I said, I never actually knew Martin. He once came to Kuttenberg and fell in love with my mother. But she is the daughter of a rabbi. Obviously, she could not marry a goy.
And tonight, you will see why.
If you want, Mummy will surely tell you more. If we can get there in time.
Then we better hurry up.
All right. Schnell! Schnell!
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Sherwill.
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town. One of them ends here.
Won't it collapse on our heads?
We'll find out soon enough.
Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
Do a mic check real quick.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
What shit? Okay.
What
Bye.
a blessing it is to have found the
It's in the chest. I'm so encumbered. Might be an issue. Let's get rid of stuff. Let's get rid of... Let's get rid of... What should we get rid of? these two.